I just want to say that haven't been on YouTube in almost 11 months. It's a struggle. It's been a struggle just trying to survive. My husband has been in and out the hospital. 2025 was a rough year. And I can tell anybody, it's nobody but the grace of God that kept me, because I had to go and do things for myself that was hard and difficult. Take care of him, take care of me. And self-care is something that I have never really thought about until I had to go through it. And it's been difficult. I tell nobody no lie. I don't care how much God you got in you, you're still human. You still have to carry the weight, and you still have to try to survive and make things better for yourself and your family. And it's just been difficult, and I didn't have no ambition to be videoing or do a video because life was just a little bit too much. I had to look real hard to find a happy moment and be satisfied, because it seemed like bad news was all around, and I kept looking for that medium, happy medium that would make me feel like I can do this. Sometimes my faith got weak, but I still survived. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about self-care, and that's what I had to try to figure out. How can I care for myself and my family and still survive? Oh, it was not easy, because the things that I had to go through was not easy. He had a lot of doctor's appointments. I had appointments, and it's just been like one thing right after another. I couldn't catch a break. Sometimes I cried, and sometimes I just call out to the Lord in my sleep. Oh my goodness, my sleep got restless, and I found myself up 1, 2, or 3 o'clock in the morning. And the doctor said I needed something to help me sleep. I didn't want to take anything, but my body was tired, and I had to be on my feet trying to help keep the house in order the best that I could, because when I had my knee surgery, it was not easy. I was struggling to walk and just to maintain and take care of myself and my daily needs. It was not easy. But in the process of that, I had surgery in January 2025. By May 16, 2026, my husband had to have surgery. And it was a long, 6-hour surgery, very scary. Didn't know if he was going to make it, a quadruple bypass. Didn't understand what was going to take place, what did I had to do. It was a bit much, a little scared, and for him and myself, and trying to survive and think positive and stay functioning in the church, and trying to keep my family together and myself together. But I was neglecting myself a lot, because there was nobody else. You had family, they're good and fine, and they always say they're there for you, but when you really need someone, then you can't find them. They're not to be found. Everybody has their own life, I understand that. But there's times I said, what about me? What about me? How am I going to make it through this? Because my body was tired, I was in pain, and I had to come off of the painkillers. I didn't want to get addicted to them, which I didn't find hard to do, to come off. And I just monitored my own health and strength, and talked to the doctor when I could. And when I couldn't, I just read my word and just meditated, prayed, and cried out to the Lord to give me strength, because that's the only way I made it. It was hard, and I don't understand it all. and why I had to go through all of that at one time, but the Lord helped me through it. So I just want to talk a little bit about self-care, I, like this month coming in June, I got like 4 or 5 appointments back to back. And I have a problem with my left eye. I need a cataract surgery. And it's been amazing how I got one eye done in 4 years, and it took 4 years for the insurance to approve my second eye. And it's been up and down, struggling to read, seeing, driving at night was very difficult. But I made it, this far. I just thank God for just having loved ones that were praying for me. And most of my friends was extended family, those on the outside of my family that came and supported me. But a lot of people think because you are stronger than Lord that you don't need no help, that you just got all the strength you need by yourself. And that's not always true, because I know there are times that I just wished I could just go and run away sometime and just take a whole week just to myself and just rest and try to figure things out and then come back. But unfortunately, life isn't that simple. So I just keep trying to look forward to a brighter day. And I believe that brighter day is right around the corner. And I thank God for that, because you cannot live in this world alone. No man's an island. You cannot live and think that you don't need other people, but you do. You always need somebody to help you along the way. And it could be somebody you know or don't know, but God will send somebody. It's always a ram in the bush that he will send to come to your aid. And I just thank and praise God for just having my channel back, trying to get it back started and do things that I know that might help me and somebody else. That you had to put your faith and trust in God. And I have a lot of faith, but it doesn't stop the problems from coming. And we are tested and trials come, and they don't seem to let up sometimes. But 2025, I think, was one of my worst years that I can remember. Being married and going through things, because when your body is not well, it makes you just doubt God, and you just want to give up, and you had to push through the pain and the hurt and the disappointments, and then you had to focus on somebody else. I was not ready to take care of my husband. I was walking around limping, in pain, and hurting all at the same time. But yet I had to try to feed him, help him do different things, and therapists came into the house and helped with his physical therapy. And I tried to help, but he wouldn't help me. That's what got me. I was really upset because he wouldn't help me when the therapist was telling me to lift my legs and do all that. He didn't want to help me, but I did everything to help him. And, that really hurt, because I felt like that was one time I needed my husband to do some things for me that I couldn't do for myself. And he made me push through it. I had to push hard, hurt, pain, and just try to move forward, because it wasn't getting better. And I often wonder sometimes why he always said he was a sick one. When he said that made me mad and angry. I was upset because everybody has a sick day. He's been sick for 40 some years. I've been sitting in hospitals, staying overnight, missing time from work, traveling, and taking care of him, and kept the family going, and still worked. And there was a point in time when he couldn't work for 10 years before I retired. And I just retired in 2024. And I had truly not enjoyed my retirement. I said, maybe ask me next year. Maybe I can give you a better answer. All I know is I'm retired, and I'm looking forward to a brighter day. And I always wanted to go on a cruise, but never could afford it, or he was always sick and I didn't want to leave him. And he just act like Morris the cat, like he got 9 lives. And I said, man, you don't have 9 lives. You're going to have to take care of yourself. So I got to the point where I had to let go and let God, because it was wearing me down. My patience got thin. And I just felt like I just couldn't do it no more, because the responsibility lays in his hands and not mine. And I was always there pushing him to go to the doctor, pushing him to take his medicine, pushing him not to do this, pushing him to take care of himself, pushing him to just listen and just try to figure things out. It wore me down. I mean, I am tired. So I made up my mind that I had to let go and let God, that I could no longer to keep this pace, but I had to trust God would take care of him, get him to the point where he needs to be, because this sister couldn't do it no more, because nobody was taking care of me. So I had to start making appointments, thinking about my own health, trying to figure out what I need to take care of, because I'm aging. I have a birthday coming up soon, end of June, near the end of June. And I just thank God that, I'll be 70 years old. And it's his grace and mercy that's taught me how to live and kept me from being a hopeless critter. I feel like sometimes I felt hopeless and I needed help. But I thank God for his grace and mercy that brought me this far, and it will continue to keep me going forward. And I thank God for all of you that even listen to my story, because everybody has a story. So I try to tell my story before somebody else try to tell it, because people really don't know all the details that goes behind any situation you go through. They only hear part. And when you tell them some of it, you can't tell people exactly everything, because they only want to hear what they want to hear. And I feel like that my life is so important to me that I had to try to figure out how I'm going to take care of me. With or without my husband, I have to take care of me. And my children and grandkids, I know they love me and they want to be there, but they can't. They all got their personal lives, jobs, families. And I just, have to do what I got to do. And through it all, my granddaughter ended up finding out, 31 years old, breast cancer. Nobody but God. She's done been through the chemo, and she's almost finished her radiation treatment. Stage 1 breast cancer. Had 2 little ones, lost her first child. He passed and didn't make it, and that was hard. And then she had 2 more. But the youngest one, the 4-year-old, took and hit her in her breast. And I'm just telling you part of the story. She can tell it to you better. And she began to feel pain in her breast. And it wouldn't go away. And she went to the doctor, and the doctor told her it was cancer. And she went through it, and she got so downhearted and discouraged. And even when I was walking with my cane in pain from my knee surgery, I had to go to her and try to build her up when I was barely making it for myself. But God brought us through, and I let her lean on me until she got stronger. And it's just a story to tell. I'll talk more about that in another video, and maybe I'll let her tell you some of her successes, trials, and tribulations she went through. But nevertheless, friends, I say a good night. Have a good night and sleep with peace, knowing that God loves you. He cares for you. And if nobody else ever tell you they care, God says he cares for you and he wants the best for you. So I'll sign off and hope be back another day and say, God bless you And thanks for listening to me. I love you and have a good night. Bye-bye.